Would I have this over one of its competitors? Well, we'll find out in my new special game, but first let's have a look at what they said about the old Optima. Auto Express, the Kia Optima is not as fun to drive as a Mondeo and has an awkward boot. What car? Loud, vague and unimpressive. And car buyer? Bland interior.
Yes, well, before we find out if the new Optima is any different, we should start with Kia's opening gambit. Kit, such as Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, pan roof, nav, radar cruise, which works in traffic, surround camera, wireless charging, and the best blind spot monitoring system I've experienced yet.
That's good. And there are some unique small things too, which I haven't come across in a car before, such as this seat which moves backwards and forwards when the engine's on or off to help you get in or out easily. Particularly good if you're tall, disabled or just lazy. Or in my case, all three.
And whilst this isn't in the top 10 for boot size, it's probably number 1 for space. Which is strange because in South Korea, where it's made, the average height of a man is only 5'7". The Americans love this car, as do giraffes. You could easily put 2 adult ones in the front and 2 smaller giraffes in the back.
And they'd be very comfortable too because of this very relaxed driving position. The seats, amazingly comfortable. Heated and cooled seats. You get this really nice sort of automatic shifter, which is good like the Audi A8 one. It's flat bottom steering wheel, which is also heated by the way, and the steering itself is actually extremely light all the time, which makes it a lot less of a chore to drive.
Kia have also made changes to the suspension in an attempt to make this more of a driver's car, like for instance a Ford or a VW. Sporty, however, it is not. That said, there's nothing wrong with the way this car drives, it's just more of a relaxing one.
And although this is the 1.7 diesel version, it's actually not the slowest among the competitors. And you'd be surprised actually just how little power you really need. This 139 horsepower is actually enough. And someone also said that this car is a bit loud, the engine's a bit loud. Well, no it's not. In fact, the only negative I've got about this engine is that all the other competitors give you a choice.
You see, that being the only negative so far did make me think. I wonder if we've all been put under this magical spell by the Germans so that we ignore all that's good about any other car not made by them.
Now, the money bit, and I've done some research to compare the price of this car to its competitors to see how much this snobbery is actually costing us. So this one with all the equipment on it is £30,850. So I spec'd up some others. The BMW 3 Series was £7,490 more. The Mondeo Estate was £3,000 more, and you don't get a surround camera. Skoda Superb, £5,895 more. The VW Passat, well, I couldn't get the configurator to work, so I have no idea. And the Audi, the A4, the Estate, is £8,155 more. None of those cars have a 7-year warranty.
But is that just a clever sales proposition to tempt us away from the competition? Well, yes, of course it is, but it's a good one. What isn't so good was the MPG average, 37, a number I thought most of the others could beat. The Harman Kardon sound system, I didn't really like it. I did like the navigation and the processing speed, which also seemed faster than all the others.
Time now for my exciting new game called Would You Have This Over A? And that's where one of the crew, of which there's millions like on the Grand Tour, passed me a selection of cards with other cars on them. Would you have this over A? Overpriced Audi A4? No, I'd have the Audi. BMW 3 Series? This is quieter. No, I'd have the 3 Series. Astra Estate? Yes, I'd have this. Seat Leon. This is more refined. I'd have this. Mondeo? Am I allowed a par? I'm going to pass on the Mondeo. Mazda 6 Estate, reviewed that. Prefer this one. Passat? Website doesn't work, so Peugeot 308 Estate, I'd have this, and the Skoda Octavia, I'd have this.
So we have established that the improvements are a hit, and if you're not in a hurry to get anywhere and you like equipment, this is a great car. The Americans are right. And so, sadly, all of my 3 subscribers will yet again be disappointed that I haven't found much to moan about. But I can't help it. I like cars. And cats. And whilst there were things I didn't like, well, they were subjective, and so feel free to do that in the comments, or drive one and let's argue the toss. For now, what I've learned is that Kia really does have the power to surprise.